Welcome to Questra. Today's quiz is the Quran, Surah Names, and Facts. Get ready for 20 questions. Let's see how well you know this topic. Which of the following surahs contains the longest single verse, ayah, in the entire Quran, known as Ayat al-Mudayana, the verse of debt? A. Surah An-Nisa. B. Surah Al-Maidah. C. Surah Al-Baqarah. D. Surah Al-Imran. The correct answer is Surah Al-Baqarah. Which surah is named after the mother of Prophet Isa alayhis salam? A. Surah Maryam alayhis salam. B. Surah Hawa. C. Surah Khadija alayhis salam. D. Surah Fatima alayhis salam. The correct answer is Surah Maryam alayhis salam. Which surah of the Quran is known as the heart of the Quran and is often recited for the deceased? A. Surah Al-Mulk. B. Surah Al-Ikhlas. C. Surah Yasin. D. Ar-Rahman. The correct answer is Surah Yasin. The Surah Al-Fath, meaning the victory, was revealed after which significant event in early Islamic history? A. The Battle of Badr. B. The Treaty of Hudaybiyah. C. The Battle of Uhud. D. The Conquest of Mecca. The correct answer is the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. Surah Al-Baqarah is the longest surah in the Quran. A. True. B. False. The correct answer is true. Surah At-Tawbah, chapter 9, is the only surah in the Quran that begins without the Bismillah. A. True. B. False. The correct answer is true. Which surah contains the Ayat Al-Kursi, verse of the throne, considered one of the most powerful verses in the Quran? A. Surah Al-Imran. B. Surah Al-Baqarah. C. Surah Al-Fath. D. Surah An-Nisa. The correct answer is Surah Al-Baqarah. How many surahs chapters are there in the Quran? A. 99. B. 114. C. 120. D. 108. The correct answer is 114. Which surah of the Quran is the only one that does not begin with the Bismillah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim at its opening? A. Surah Al-Kahf, 18. B. Surah Al-Anfal, 8. C. Surah At-Tawbah, 9. D. Surah Al-Hajj, 22. The correct answer is Surah At-Tawbah, 9. Every surah in the Quran begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, except one. A. True. B. False. The correct answer is true. Which surah is named after the family or house of Imran, the father of Lady Maryam, alayhis salam? A. Surah Al-Baqarah. B. Surah Al-Imran. C. Surah Al-Maidah. D. Surah Al-Araf. The correct answer is Surah Al-Imran. Surah Al-Kahf is recommended to be recited every Friday according to numerous authentic hadiths. A. true, B, false. The correct answer is true. What does Surah Al-Ikhlas translate to in English? A, the dawn, B, the sincerity, C, the people, D, the light. The correct answer is the sincerity. Which surah of the Quran shares its name with the Prophet, peace be upon him, whose story involves being swallowed by a whale? A, Surah Yusuf, B, Surah Al-Anbiya, C, Surah Yunus and Surah Al-Qalam both reference this prophet. D, Surah Yunus, chapter 10. The correct answer is Surah Yunus, chapter 10. The surah, known as the Bride of the Quran, due to its comprehensive themes and beauty, is Surah Ar-Rahman. A, true, B, false. The correct answer is true. Surah Al-Kawthar is the shortest surah in the Quran, with only 3 verses. A, true, B, false. The correct answer is true. Surah Al-Kahf is traditionally recommended to be recited on which day of the week? A, Monday, B, Wednesday, C, Friday, D, Sunday. The correct answer is Friday. Which surah of the Quran contains the verse known as Ayat al-Nur, the verse of light, which uses the metaphor of a lamp in a niche to describe divine guidance? A, Surah Al-Isra, B, Surah Az-Zumar, C, Surah An-Nur, D, Surah Al-Hadid. The correct answer is Surah An-Nur. The first surah of the Quran is called Al-Fatiha, which translates to the opening. A, true, B, false. The correct answer is true. Which surah of the Quran is named after a metal used to make armor and weapons? A, Surah Al-Hadid, iron, B, Surah Al-Kahf, the cave, C, Surah Al-Fajr, the dawn, D, Surah Al-Balad, the city. The correct answer is Surah Al-Hadid, iron. That's all for this quiz. How many did you get right from the Quran surah names and facts? Drop your score in the comments below and follow Questra for a new trivia challenge every day.